Morning, everybody. Sam, you asked me about pipe packing and stuff, so I thought I'd tell you. This one is my favourite pipe at the moment, so I've got this one with me, and you asked me to explain to you how I do it. But first I thought I'd go through the tobacco that I keep at home. Now, of course, I've got my Capstan, and I have this one because Tolkien, the guy who wrote Lord of the Rings, it was one of his favourite. I'm not smoking that one today. I actually only ordered this one by accident. I put it on a buy list when I was buying from Bolgardens, which is, sorry, not Bolgardens, hard word for my tongue to get around. And that's a mix that they have of their own. It's the cigar shop in Gothenburg. All right, so I accidentally ordered that one, but I'll give that one a go. I ticked it up on a list of maybe purchases, and then I forgot to take it off. I've got my Three Nuns, right, that new tobacco that I mentioned the other day. Right, I'm not taking that one this morning. The other one I've got, which is the Davidoff English Mix. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to buy this anymore. I'm not a big fan of the Davidoff, and not only that, once again, instead of it being sort of one of the more, well, you would call family-orientated businesses, this one's owned by the Scandinavian Group, that big multinational company that I mentioned to you before. So, it's a nice tobacco. That's my second tin that I've been through recently. And I don't mind it, but I think I'm going to start swapping over to different ones. Now, even though this company did sell out to a bigger investment group a few years ago, buying this one, Hamilton's. It's a Scandinavian brand. They're actually made out of Denmark. And I bought this one because not only is it one of the few Scandinavian tobaccos, so I sort of think, I should support local industries. So I started buying this one. Then I found out also her father and that smoked this one, so she quite likes this one. So if I'm going to smoke around also, she likes me to have this one. So this is the one I'm going to have today. And so when I'm packing my pipe, and there are lots of videos on this one, the first pinch I take is only a small pinch. You can see there's not much there. And I just sort of drop it in. I don't do a lot, but you just want a loose layer on the bottom, right? And as you can see, I'm not even poking my finger in there to poke it in or anything like that. Now, the second one, I take a bigger pinch, all right? It's a much bigger pinch, and I drop that one in there. And that one, I sort of pinch it together, and I will drop that one in, all right? Now, I'm careful with how much I push it in. And so that one comes in. So you want to pack that one a little bit tighter, And so then I want to get it up to the top. So I've taken a bigger pinch again, and I'm putting that one in. So you can see, I'm not sure if you can pick that up on the camera very well. Not holding it up high enough. And then you can see it's over the top. So I give it a little bit of a pinch together, and that packs the top of it okay. Now, I'm not applying too much pressure down. Like I've pinched it together for the second layer, so it's a bit tighter for the second layer. The first layer that I put in is only loosely packed because you need circulation of air at the bottom. And then you can see that last layer I've pinched together, and I'm not pushing too hard. I'm just sort of packing it into the top there. And then I have two. You can buy these. So if you don't have one, you should get one. All right. Not only are they good for cleaning out and stuff, so you've got your thing there for digging out. You can, if you get a bit of a blockage, you can use that one there, and it comes with a stamper, so you can stamp down. All right. But the other thing that I have that I use while I'm smoking is it's more of a nicer looking one. I went to the Bolgardens shop in Gothenburg, and when I saw this on the shelf, I thought, it looked nice, and It's the stamper for stamping down. Now, Sam, you did ask me how you keep your pipe going. Now, common mistakes that people make are they pack too tight when they put all this together. And the other thing they do is either that or they pack too loose. So there's too big an air gap because you need the heat transfer whenever you're drawing in. And so I've got my lighter here. And so we'll light it up. And what I want to do with the first bit is you want to scorch the top and get it going on the top. Now it will go out once you light it, but then you pack down a little bit. So we'll seal the top of it. This is quite a mild tobacco. But so, and instantly you see I've got the ash on top, but when you add the heat, all the tobacco expands. So then, now when I'm packing in, I don't just pack straight down. Now to exaggerate it, I pack from the outside to the inside. So I'm sort of heaping it on the inside of the pipe like this. So I will work my way around the edge. And once you've scorched the top of it and you pack it down a little bit, not applying too much pressure, but if applying a tiny bit of pressure, you can see on the camera there that all of a sudden now I'm below the top lip. Now when I light it, again, it'll probably stay lit for a while. This is quite a mild tobacco. It's nice. It's what you would consider to be your Swedish everyday tobacco. Like there's not a massive, it's got a very distinctive flavour and odour about it, but it's not heavy, it's not strong, it's not anything like that. So now I was talking too much, so it went out. But so one of the things I find is you do need to give it a little poke and a prod, because when you're smoking your pipe, everything tries to expand, So you do have to give it a little poke. And the other thing you find too is that if you puff too much, the bowl will get really hot and you'll get what they call tongue bite, where you feel it on your tongue when you're smoking. So you can puff too much and you can puff not enough. And sometimes if you are going to pack, you can give a little puff while you're packing to make sure it doesn't go out. All right. And at the end of the day, it's okay, because if you're going to sit there like Sam, you do with your mum, and you're going to sit there and talk and have a glass of wine or something like that, it's probably going to go out if you're talking a lot, And that's fine. You get your lighter, you light it again. The idea of the pipe is you're supposed to relax. It's supposed to give you time to switch off so you can sit there and talk and relax and enjoy the atmosphere you're in. If it goes out, it doesn't matter. But one of the practical things about this pipe that can cause it to go out is once you pack it down a couple of times at the start and you get the right amount of, and it's a bit of a feel to it, you get the right amount of pack going, well then it will stay alight. And that's the pipe. And I quite like it. I quite often have my pipe when I'm on my lawnmower doing the lawns. And Eric's doing a lot of work outside these days with the garage and pulling trees down and all this sort of stuff. He's got quite a lot of construction going on. And so I will, when he's showing me what's going on, I'll grab my pipe, go out there, And while he's explaining it all to me, what he's doing, I sit there and I smoke my pipe while I listen to him explain it all to me. You know? And that's nice. So, but as far as keeping it going is concerned, you give it a little poke. So if you don't have one of these, all right, and because of the way things are in Australia with pipe and tobaccos and things like that, you might struggle to get one. And if you're having trouble getting one, let me know, and I'll get you something that you can use. Like I said, you can always use this. Like I did look on the website in Australia, and you can buy these. All right, so if you don't have one, you should get one. Yeah. And these you can also use as a bit of a packer. But I've seen the pipes you guys have got at home. You've sent me photos, and you've got quite nice pipes. So that means it's just a nice thing to have, where you've got something a bit nicer in your hand to pack the pipe down with. So yeah, so that's, I hope that's explained what you wanted to know about the pipe. So as far as keeping it going is concerned, give it a little poke and a prod, you know, because as you smoke and as it burns down, it expands. And then you'll notice as you get down towards the bottom, you get less tobacco and you'll have more ash in there, which means you've got to poke a little bit to keep all the tobacco together so it'll keep burning. And that's it. You know, if you've got any other questions, let me know and I'll do the best I can to answer them for you. And we'll see how we go. And if I end up by buying any more new tobacco, I'll show it to you and I'll let you know what I end up with. So enjoy your Saturday pipe, and you guys have a good weekend, and I will see you on the next video.